In the high and far off times, the elephant, oh best beloved, had no trunk. He had only a blackish, bulgy nose, about as big as a boot, that he could wriggle about from side to side, but he couldn't pick things up with it. But there was one elephant. It was a new elephant, an elephant's child, who was full of satiable curiosity. And this means that he asked ever so many questions. And he lived in Africa, and he filled all of Africa with his satiable curiosities. He asked his tall aunt the ostrich why her tail feathers grew just so. And his tall aunt the ostrich spanked him with her hard claw. He asked his tall uncle the giraffe what made his skin spotty, and his tall uncle the giraffe spanked him with his hard hoof. And still he was full of satiable curiosity. He asked his broad aunt the hippopotamus why her eyes were red, and his broad aunt hippopotamus spanked him with her broad hoof. And he asked his hairy uncle the baboon why melons tasted just so, and his hairy uncle the baboon spanked him with one hairy paw. He asked questions about everything that he saw, or he heard, or he felt, or he smelt, or he touched, and all his aunts and uncles spanked him. And still he was full of satiable curiosity. One fine morning, in the middle of the procession of equinoxes, this satiable elephant's child asked a new fine question that he had never asked before. He asked, what does the crocodile have for dinner? And everybody said, hush, in a loud and dreadful tone, and spanked him immediately and directly without stopping for a long time. By and by, when that was finished, he came upon Colo Bird, sitting in the middle of a wait-a-bit thorn bush. He said, my father and my mother and all my aunts and uncles have spanked me for my satiable curiosity, and still I want to know what the crocodile has for dinner. And then Colo Bird said in a mournful cry, go to the banks of the great gray green greasy Limpopo River, all surrounded with fever trees, and find out. Well, that very next morning, when there was nothing at all left of the equinoxes because the procession had proceeded according to its precedent, this satiable elephant's child packed 100 pounds of bananas, the little short red kind, 100 pounds of sugarcane, the long purple kind, and 17 melons, the green crackly kind. And he said to all his dear families, goodbye. I am going to the banks of the great gray green greasy Limpopo River, all set about with fever trees, to find out what the crocodile has for dinner. And they spanked him once more for luck, though he asked them most politely to stop. Then he went away.